If you're shopping for a 1440p GPU around or under $400 in 2026, there's a real chance you're about to make a mistake that costs you money, performance, or both, and it usually isn't the obvious one. The worst trap at this budget isn't picking the slowest card, it's buying one that looks great in a benchmark chart, but quietly saddles you with 8GB of VRAM, ugly 1% lows, or a price that crept past $400 while you weren't looking. So here's the plan for this video. 4 GPUs I'd actually trust at this budget, the exact price ranges you should pay for each, and the traps that'll wreck the deal even on the right card. Current prices for every model I name are linked in the description. Check those first, because these move fast and a $30 swing can flip the right answer. Let's start with the safest answer. The best overall pick is the PowerColor Reaper Radeon RX 9060 XT 16GB, if you can find it under $400. In TechSpot's 18-game native 1440p test, the 9060 XT 16GB averages around 70 FPS, exactly where a budget 1440p card should land. You're looking at 101 FPS in God of War Ragnarok, 65 in The Last of Us Part 1, and over 330 in Counter-Strike 2. Heavier titles like Stalker 2 do drop into the low 40s, so that's where upscaling or tuned settings become part of the deal. What makes this the safest buy isn't just the frame rates, it's the 16GB of VRAM. More memory doesn't make a GPU faster, but it gives you more room for high textures and smoother lows as newer games get heavier. That's one reason some 8GB cards are aging badly at 1440p. The Sapphire Pulse, ASRock Challenger, and XFX Swift versions are all worth checking, so don't overpay just to get a fancier cooler. The price rule is this: $350 to $400 is the buy without hesitation. $410 to $450 still makes sense if you're stretching. At $450 or higher, close the tab. The links in the description will tell you in seconds whether any of these are actually under $400 right now, because that's the moment to pivot. Now, if your budget is honestly closer to $300, the value pick is the ASRock Challenger Intel Arc B580 12GB OC. The B580 isn't the fastest card here, I'll say that up front, but it's the smartest spend when you want to keep an extra $100 in your pocket and still get a real 1440p experience. In TechSpot's testing, it lands about 14% ahead of the RTX 4060 at 1440p, with 12GB of VRAM on a 192-bit bus. That's a configuration a lot of 8GB cards simply can't match at this resolution. The numbers: 63 FPS native in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty at 1440p high, and 54 in The Last of Us Part 1 at ultra. Flip on ZES or drop one preset, and in lighter or well-optimized games, it can feel much closer to a high-refresh 1440p card. This isn't a max everything card, though. Starfield hovers around 30 FPS, heavy ray tracing in Dying Light 2 sits near 45 with quality upscaling already on, and Intel's drivers still aren't quite as predictable as AMD or Nvidia across every title. The price rule is that if it's $250 to $310, it's a buy. If it climbs near $330 and a 9060 XT 16GB hits sub $400, walk up to AMD. Now, if you've been waiting for the Nvidia option, I have to be upfront before we get there. This is the section where the obvious answer isn't the right answer for everyone. The best Nvidia pick under $400 is the MSI GeForce RTX 5060 Ti 8GB Ventus 3X OC, but you need the full picture first. If you came here for Nvidia's ecosystem, DLSS, multi-frame generation, NVENC, CUDA, creator app support, and cleaner ray tracing behavior, this is the cheapest way in. Across a 27-game 1440p test, it averages around 59 FPS with 1% lows in the mid to high 40s, solid on paper. Here's where the cracks show. In TechSpot's testing, the 8GB version struggled badly next to the 16GB version in games that punish VRAM. Final Fantasy XVI at 1440p DLSS quality, 41 FPS on 8GB, 74 on 16GB. Assassin's Creed Shadows, 44 versus 66. Spider-Man 2, frame pacing problems on the 8GB while the 16GB stayed above 80. So buy the 5060 Ti 8GB only if Nvidia features are non-negotiable for what you do. And if you spot a Zotac Twin Edge or Gigabyte Windforce RTX 5060 Ti 16GB drop near $430, take that one instead. Same chip, without the same VRAM compromise. Before we move to the next card, if this is the kind of breakdown you wish more buyer guides did, where the trade-off comes packaged with the pick instead of buried in the comments afterwards, a like will genuinely help this video reach the next person about to overpay. Moving on, if you're open to a little more risk for serious performance, the used market has something even better. My pick for a used card is a Radeon RX 6800 XT 16GB, and depending on price, it might quietly be the smartest buy in this entire video. In Tom's Hardware's 1440p Ultra hierarchy, it averages around 99 FPS, ahead of the 7700 XT, and slightly ahead of the used RTX 3080 10GB. You get 16GB of VRAM, a 256-bit memory bus, and enough muscle for high-refresh 1440p across a wide range of games. The Nvidia alternative is the RTX 3080 10GB at around 96 FPS in the same test, with DLSS and better ray tracing. If you find one meaningfully cheaper, take it. At the same price, I'm taking the 6800 XT. 16GB is easier to live with than 10GB over the next 2 to 3 years. However, used means no warranty, higher power draw, and unknown history. Check seller ratings, return policy, photos, fan noise, and make sure your PSU and case can handle it. If the price is right, this can be the highest performance per dollar buy on the entire list. Now, before any of these turns into a bad buy, a few traps that'll catch you no matter which card you pick. These are the ones that quietly ruin the deal after you've already chosen the right GPU. First, the fancy cooler tax. A premium RGB version of a $350 card is not a better deal at $430. That pushes you straight into the next performance tier. Stick with the basic versions I named. Second, your PSU and case. The 9060 XT is easy. The used 6800 XT pulls more power and is physically longer. Check wattage, connectors, and clearance before you click buy. Third, don't buy VRAM alone. A weak 16GB GPU is still weak. You want enough memory and enough actual GPU performance. Fourth, be realistic about ray tracing. Use it in lighter games with upscaling on. That's where it actually works at this price range. Just don't expect maxed out path tracing at 1440p, because none of these cards are built for it. Finally, here's how to decide. If an RX 9060 XT 16GB is near $400, start there. Going used and find a clean RX 6800 XT 16GB at a fair price, that's the highest performance per dollar buy on the list. Budget closer to $300? Get the ARC B580 12GB OC. Need Nvidia features and accept the 8GB trade-off? Get the RTX 5060 Ti 8GB. Every card is linked in the description with current pricing. And seriously, make sure you check prices before you buy, because prices on these move daily, and the right pick today might not be the right pick tomorrow. If this saved you from the wrong GPU, hit the like button. It's honestly the single biggest thing that tells YouTube to push this video to the next person about to overpay. And drop the card you're going with in the comments. I try to read every one.